In 2009, the George Fox University Bruins went undefeated and won the national championship in Holland, Michigan. Flash forward 4 years, and the George Fox Bruins are again undefeated and perhaps headed back to Holland, Michigan. We're sitting down with Keisha Gordon and Ariana Masanian of the George Fox Bruins before their game with Mary Washington, a clash of the undefeateds. But before we get to this season, I know it's a while back. You guys are both seniors now. What do you remember most about that championship run as freshmen?
I think just looking back, it was crazy because we were picked to end up fourth in our conference, and we literally just took one game at a time, and we were in disbelief that we could actually be winning games. And so the fact that we made it to the tournament and talking to the older girls, they're like, it's not always like this. Like, not every team goes undefeated or has a winning season. And for us, it's like, this is weird because we don't know anything else in college, you know?
Right.
And so that was just, I think, was one of the special things about that year.
Yeah, I would completely agree. I was in disbelief like the entire year, and even after we won the national championship, it was like, okay, what's next? Like,
right.
what game is next? Because every game just kind of felt like just like another basketball game.
Right.
Because we didn't know any better. We'd never been to that point. None of us had even really like been to like a state championship before. Most of us came from conferences or leagues that were, you know, I mean, we just knew high school. We didn't know
right.
college basketball at all. So it was kind of crazy, and it's still kind of surreal looking back at it, but I think throughout the years it's become more real.
You guys have won a lot of games. You've played a lot of games. You've played 124 now. Were the so your sophomore and junior years were good. Was there any bit of a letdown? What was it like when you lost that first game, which I think for you guys would have been like Cal Lutheran in your sophomore year, like right before Christmas? What was the response to that?
It was pretty crazy. I think we knew it was going to be hard. Like, we knew it wasn't always like that, but it was at the same time, it was just like we still didn't know anything other than what we'd been doing. And so I think that first loss was just like brought us back to reality, like how hard we needed to work. I think it was really good for us to lose that game like preseason,
right.
just so that it sparked back up that fire of like being competitive and wanting.
Now, Keisha, you and I talked when you were a freshman. I interviewed you in Kentucky with Scott Rueck,
right.
the head coach, Sage and Dendy, and Kristen Chalet.
Right.
Those people are all gone now.
Yeah.
What was that like when you learned first with Coach Rueck that he was moving on to Oregon State? Nervous? How did you hear the news, and what was your response to it?
Yeah, well, I was actually going to be a coach for NBC camps at
Okay.
Fox, and so I was on my way to Fox, coming from Vancouver, and one of my other teammates said, "Oh, Scott wants to talk to you," and I was just thinking, all right, he's gonna talk about something I need to work on or this and that, and you know, he kind of just, and some of the players had already knew about it, and he just sat me down with another girl and said, you know, I'm going to Oregon State, and I was seriously shocked. I mean, I heard rumors before, but never really thought that could be a possibility. And it was a lot. It was really something that was hard to deal with. I mean, really good figure to look up to, and also as a coach, really respectable. And so I think just the fact that I wasn't going to get to play it for him for another 2 years was hard. And how is the program going to be like after this? And so initially it was a really hard process and everything. But having Mike as a coach, there could have been no other coach that could have come in and do the things that he's accomplished already.
Ari, how is he different from Coach Rueck?
How is he different? Oh man, they have just different styles of play. Our presses are different. Mike likes fast tempo. Scott was more like just run the clock down and play really good half court, which Mike also is like big on half court defense as well. But I think just even in their demeanors, like the way they talk to us, the way they both motivate us, they're different motivators. They approach it differently at least. They're both awesome coaches. It's been really cool to see the differences, but also being able to play for both of them, because I think they're both awesome, but they don't coach the same way.
Yeah.
They're both extremely competitive, but they're both just, I don't know, they're just awesome. There's a lot of differences, I guess, in just like their personalities are very different. So the way they coach is very different. But they're both awesome people and both awesome coaches. So it's been really cool.
Yeah.
I remember when you guys were freshmen, the theory that Scott had was funnel everything to Kristen and let her block shots. Now
Right.
you've got another outstanding forward in Hannah Munger in the middle. Is it the same philosophy? Are you trying to funnel everything to her, or does Coach Meeks, is he trying to spread things out a little more?
Yeah, I think a little bit. You know, he's big on containing the ball. You know,
Okay.
that's something we, especially in these past 2 games, that we need to focus on is containing the ball. But knowing that if it does get in the middle, Hannah's definitely there. And I think that's kind of the big part of our team is knowing that she is there. And so it's interesting styles of play.
Do you guys as seniors feel more ownership of this team than you did on the freshman undefeated team?
I would say kind of, definitely. I mean, you know, coming in as freshmen, you know, we both got playing time.
Right.
But it's not like no one really depended on us, and
Right.
we looked to other people and be like, what do we do? So now with us being in this position, it's really cool. We're both thankful for the leadership that we got to look at ahead of us. And so it's really taught us a lot how to lead, how to be captains, a part of this team. And so it's really an honor.
All right, there's been a couple of buzzer beaters in this tournament, and there was one near one last week. I was watching in Philly, and I've talked to a bunch of people across the country who've watched it.
Yeah.
We see the missed free throws, the shot goes in,
Yeah.
it sounds like it's off, or it looks like it's off, and then the officials get together. What's running through your head when they get together to talk?
I was just okay. So in the game, watching the shot, I saw the light go on, and then I saw her shoot it, and I was like, no way is that in, because
Right.
I just saw the light go off, and I saw the guy wave his hands before she even shot it.
Right.
So when they got together, I was like, if they change this is gonna be crazy. And so my heart, oh my gosh, my heart was hurting. I was telling people my heart hurt for probably 2 hours afterwards because it was crazy. Just like that intensity of, we already beat them 3 times, and it's
Right.
always so hard to beat a team 4 times, which Lewis and Clark is a great team, and yeah, but it was insane. Their sophomore point guard played out of her mind that game with banking threes, and but yeah, it was intense. And I think after especially watching film over and over, I know the refs made the right call. She definitely didn't let go of the ball until after the buzzer.
Have you guys gone back and looked at the replay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the right call.
Yeah.
The shot is still in her hands.
Yeah, so I think that, knowing that then, but then actually watching the replay afterwards and knowing the refs made the right call was just super comforting, and being like, okay, yeah, we're supposed to be here.
Right. What if you had gone back and looked at it and the shot should have counted, it didn't? What would that have been like?
Well, it didn't count.
Right. Because, don't have to deal with that moral peril.
Yeah, that's hard. I mean, that whole night, I couldn't sleep because I'm like, are we even supposed to be going on? Even, a win, I was very thankful for that win, but going back that whole night, I mean, I didn't go to sleep till 4 a.m. because I was like, are we even supposed to be continuing on? And, I kept looking over it, I'm like, okay, yes. But just all the energy, I mean, it was a crazy way to enter into the tournament.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, I cautioned you that I did read the media notes, so that'll make Blair back in Newburgh happy. So Ari, your last question. Your future plans. It says you want to teach in a third world orphanage.
Oh, man.
First, I have to ask, were you serious? Second, I have to ask, why?
Okay, that's funny because I wrote that as a freshman.
Oh.
I really did have a huge passion to be a missionary, and I did want to teach in an orphanage for a really long time. My plans have changed, I guess. I'm actually getting married this summer, so it's kind of crazy, but yeah, they've just completely changed. I'm not even sure. I think I still want to teach and stuff, but I'm still trying to figure things out right now. But I did at one point, yes, I did want to teach overseas for a while, and I still do want to travel and do a lot of mission trips and stuff, and maybe do some teaching overseas, but just not right now.
Okay. Keisha, do you remember what you wrote if this was back from your freshman year?
No.
You wrote, I want a puppy.
Oh my gosh, I still want that. At that time I had no idea, and I told my parents for my graduation present I wanted
I was going to say,
a puppy.
Mom, Dad, if you're listening, this is an easy lift here.
Please, Mom, Dad, I love you. So yeah, I do still want a puppy, but I guess after Fox, I just got an internship in Vancouver with Murdoch Trust, and so that has a lot of networking opportunities too. And I'm a communication major, so I just want to be in relation with people and do something I'm passionate about. So we'll see though.
Okay. And Keisha, your last question. You guys have gone undefeated before. Mm-hmm. There are 3 teams left, one of which you're going to play tonight, Mary Washington, the other which is Amherst. What will separate the team that, if it's one of you 3, what will separate the team that finishes undefeated? Because you are the only 2 players other than the seniors on your team who have done this, who are left in the NCAA tournament. what does it take to win to finish an undefeated season?
Man, it just takes a complete 40 minutes. I mean, it might be ugly sometimes, but the team who can completely just come together and I guess work through those minutes are going to be the ones to stay on top and everything. And so hopefully we're one of those teams that can do that.